Lautaro Martínez, what a phenomenal striker we've been able to witness and see develop here in Serie A over the years. He leads the Capocannoniere race, which is the top goal-scoring charts in Italy, followed by Pulisic, who is not the traditional center forward, although his role has changed in many ways. But how many times have we seen Lautaro at the top? He is very, very consistent. Lautaro, Grella, let's highlight Lautaro and talk about what makes him so special. He's got this amazing ability, in my opinion, to mix talent, but also he's got this grit about his game where he's the hungriest player to get on every ball. Maybe that's the Argentine in him, and I feel like every team needs an Argentine player because they bring that week in and week out.
It's funny. I heard, I was speaking about him last week, and I heard someone describe him as he wants to win. You see it in his eyes how bad he wants to win. That's what this person was talking about. And that's, I think, what you're also mentioning, the grit, the determination, the ability to be disciplined in a lot of different moments. Now, he is not the biggest striker. He's not the strongest striker. He's not the quickest striker. His 1v1 ability is not fantastic. But he's there at the top of the scoring sheets every single year because, A, his mentality to score goals, B, his ability to finish the ball, and 3, he's a very good hold-up player, despite not being all those different things. So I think that he's not the shiniest piece, and we've had him in Italy for a long time. We've had the honor and the pleasure of covering him in Italy for a long time, and he's not the shiniest piece. But he is the best striker in Italy. That's hands down.
I agree.
There's nobody better than him. Whether you want to admit that or not, again, maybe not the most exciting. He is the best striker, number 9, traditional striker that we have in Italy. 13 goals in all competitions, 9 being in Serie A every single week. And you know, the thing against him is, oh, well, he scores against the small teams in the little games. We always say in Italy, those are the most difficult games to win sometimes. So that's very important. No matter a goal's a goal, and I think he's done a fantastic job, especially over the last few years.
I totally agree. I think his hold of play is extremely underrated. Why don't we break down and show where some of those goals come from? Because you've even called him, what'd you call it, Salernitana, you know, goals against Salernitana at moments, because versus the bottom half, he's got 6 goals in 8 matches, and then versus the top half, 3 goals in 8 matches. I will say, the little caveat, last year, this season, last year, he did score against Barcelona, he did score against Bayern Munich twice, and he scored against Milan twice, but that is the knock on his career. The knock on his career is that sometimes in the high-pressure moments, he hasn't always risen to the occasion.
I think, look, it's like 3 goals in 8 matches against the top half is not terrible either. That's not bad. That's almost a goal in every other game, which is what you want from your striker. The benchmark for any striker is a goal every other game. If you can get more than that, obviously, then that striker is really producing. This is also very important, by the way, getting 6 goals against the bottom half teams where, you know, we've said this about Milan, we've said this about Napoli. When teams sit in, it becomes really difficult. Well, he's found the code to be able to score some of those goals. Obviously, playing in Inter helps him out a lot as well. But you're talking about a World Cup winner, you're talking about Serie A winner, you're talking about the captain of this Inter side. So he's a special player, and it's good that we're talking about him.
Let's look at some of the other strikers, because you did mention that he is the best of everyone. We've got other names here. Rasmus Højlund, who's really come into his own lately. Gianluca Scamacca, he's been injured as well, hasn't played as many games. Bonazzoli, Keenan Davis, Matteo Pellegrino. I'll say it, I'll state the obvious. In Italy, we do have a striker problem. I think that Italy, we're not able to spend the big money, and usually, if you want to get a striker, you need more than 40 million. You need 60, 70, 80, 90 million. The big teams in Europe, that's what they do. But you already mentioned it. His all-around game is better than everyone on this list.
Yeah, for sure. I think Martinez, Højlund, Scamacca are the notables. These 3, I think, still levels below those front 3 there. Those are probably the most important number 9s that we have in the league as well. But I think what's interesting is we're seeing in Serie A that we're getting goals from other guys, like the Orsolini, Pulisic type players. And it is down to style of play. It's also that this is like a little bit of a dying art, right? We haven't seen these big number 9s anymore being able to do it. There's also the issue of finance that happens as a reality of the world, especially for Italian clubs, where if there is a guy like Højlund out there that's going to go for 100 million plus that can bang goals, usually the Italian teams struggle to get them, and they can't afford to miss on those guys. Like a good example is Juventus missing on Vlahovic, which
100%.
has set them back, I think, substantially, because not only now you have that player, it's harder for you to sign other players. So difficult to find these guys.
Or you need to find gold, like Matteo Retegui, and you hope that it works out, and then you sell him on for triple the price.
Not a great example, because Atalanta make that look easy, but they just, boom, took Retegui, boom, made him the Capocannoniere. It's not easy to do.
It is scary to see that picture that we had on here. There was no Juventus or Milan striker, number 9. So you mentioned it. They're having to rely on getting goals from different places. The Milan one is a little jaded because they really don't have a center forward. Now they're bringing in Fulkirk, but Pulisic and Leao, when they're both healthy, have played as those 2 strikers.
Yeah, we're talking about profile of player. Yes. So Milan really don't play with a striker. Those guys will drop in. And what we're going to take a look at is some of these guys, like the Orsolini, the Yildizes, the Pazes, This first one is Pulisic as the example. I just want to note a couple things what these players have to deal with that are not out-and-out strikers. Again, Milan, yeah, he's starting as a striker. He's 40 yards from the goal. He actually drifts off further. It's about 45 yards from the goal when he picks this ball up. And then what you're going to see in Italy against Italian teams, you're going to see 4-4-2, you're going to see 5-3-2. We're going to go through that. There's no space between the lines. There's compactness. So you're going to have to time these runs and find these moments and smell these moments out. This is actually where I thought Pulisic would struggle a little bit in the Italian league because there's not a lot of space. But he has become a master at finding these situations, these soft spot in the defense. And then as a striker, he only needs one chance. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. It's not as if Pulisic is getting 7-8 chances a game. He's getting 1 or 2, and he's converting them. Look at the shape here of Torino. This ball is a dead ball. It's out for a throw-in. Como have it. This is a Nico Paz example, right? And Torino they're fine. They've got Paz surrounded. There's 4 midfielders. They're all at home here. Torino sets up defensively, albeit they haven't been very good defensively, conceding 28 goals in the season. But watch where Paz is picking this up, 45 yards away. And then here, 5-3. They're in okay shape. Obviously, their line is a little jagged. Paz has found a way from 45 yards away to find the soft spot in the defense. And he's not, by the way, a number 10 who just sits at home. He's willing to run behind. That little move that he gets in front of the defender with his body position at the end, you cannot teach that. That is pure football genius. He's one of the best also we have in the league. And then this is Yildiz. Watch the shape again. We're looking at a 5-3-2 here from Cagliari. They're all in their own end also. Note that they're all in their own half of the football pitch, so there's not a lot of space to collect balls. Yildiz is 38 yards from the goal trying to collect it, right? He's not a threat. He's not the striker in the situation. That's what makes these guys even more special to me. Finding the soft spots in the defense, late runs in the box, and then the technical ability to put these chances away. Yildiz knows he's got to take a touch away from the defender. In fact, he takes 2 there and then knocks this in. So these guys, for me, have been super impressive because they've had to find a way to get goals from really deep positions against really compact defenses.
And the truth is, you did it great with that breakdown to show how there's no space. Italy's the hardest league to score in. This is not me. This is not Marco Messina saying it. This is Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. Tevez, Zlatan, they've all said it's harder to score in Italy than it is any other league because the focus first is not on conceding. We could give one example, even Dovbyk. He was La Liga's top goal scorer with Girona.
Great example.
He came to Roma, and now he's second choice. I mean, they've been trying to find a way to get rid of him because defensively the teams just want to do that first before they concede.
I think another great example is Leao. We saw him become MVP of the league. We've seen him at his highest ability in his ceiling, and a lot of the rhetoric on Leao is, oh, well, his attitude, his mentality, and certainly that's an issue. But a lot of it is sometimes when he comes up against teams that don't give him space in Italy, which happens very often, it becomes difficult. When he comes up against teams that go for it and leave space behind, well, then he's able to go that. And we're giving you a little
half-can action.
Half-can action.
You get it all in the Golazo
just
network.
In case you're peeking around the channels.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. It's such a great breakdown. We mentioned it before. Inter have struggled in these tough games. Can Lautaro Martínez be the guy?